this is a really special occasion. We haven't had this before, and we are joined by our head of catering, Paul, who is going to give us a massive treat and let us know all about the elements that make up the afternoon tea here at Waddesdon. Now, just a few things first before we delve into this beautiful table full of lots of sumptuous treats. I'm just going to talk a bit about where we are. So we are at Waddesdon Manor. We're in the restaurant. Behind me is the old servants' kitchen, and there are a few lovely things about this kitchen which would really make your afternoon tea here extra special. So just taking a few quotes from Dorothy de Rothschild's book from the 1970s. This is a really lovely opportunity to bring what she says to life by coming and visiting us and having an afternoon tea. So she says and describes the kitchen as the third apartment of the house, and describes one of the walls of the main kitchen entirely taken up by great coal fire ranges and ovens, whereas another long wall was covered in shelves which bore row upon row of shining copper pans. Now this adds a really special dimension when you come and have afternoon tea with us. And now, of course, we're going to get into the actual afternoon tea tasting, which, you know, I'm very excited about. So,
a hideous way to start the day, don't you think?
Of course, of course. And as I can see, we have sparkling wine in front of us.
Not too early for that, is it?
11 a.m, but of course we're pretending this is an afternoon tea scenario. So tell us a bit about this.
Yes, so afternoon tea at Waddesdon in this guise has been with us for nearly 10 years. I've been looking after the catering department for that time, and as a real sort of fan of afternoon tea, we did offer afternoon tea, but I just thought we needed to kind of freshen it up and look around and see who else is doing tea and see what's out there. So actually 9 years ago we took the team around the country and tasted a lot of teas, the London hotels. We went to the north, to Betty's of Harrogate to see what they were doing. So
it sounds absolutely
awesome. It was a long day, a fun day, but what that gave us was a real sort of insight into how other people are doing it, and sort of elements that we can take from that for Waddesdon. And from that, actually, we decided to take an approach that is not traditional in the sense that you get all of your tea stand of pastries and sandwiches all together. We wanted to make it more of a sort of feast, and with that, as you can see here in front of you, we do have a savoury selection to start with. So it does feel a bit more like a two-course treat than just here's your tea stand and thank you very much. So I've got 3 different savouries here for you to look at. This is our traditional one, obviously the most popular. Last year, afternoon tea, 2018, we sold nearly 10,000 teas throughout the season. 4,000 of those for our Christmas period. So it's tremendously popular, something that we're very proud of, and long may it continue really. So this is our most popular tea, the traditional.
Lovely, and what do we have here?
And with that, you have a little egg and cress sandwich.
It's so sweet.
Yeah, home smoked home cured gravlax with our own Waddesdon gin. It's been cured in our gin.
Is that all done on site?
Yeah, so the Waddesdon gin is actually made with botanicals foraged from the estate. So how holistic can you get?
Are you working with the gardens team to do that?
Yes, absolutely. We're not just out there picking random things. That would be very dangerous. No, we went round with a proper professional forager to get the botanicals. There's 2 tarts here, a pea tart and an onion tart with goat's curd actually, which is a bit of a twist on goat's cheese.
Do you mind if I delve in and have a bit
of a taste? Go for it.
Use these utensils.
Homemade sweet note, the end ones,
the
darling.
outside,
Yes,
the
come
outside
on.
in?
Get the etiquette.
The etiquette.
So a homemade terrine, that's pork and chicken, and a pan-fried croque monsieur, pan-fried ham and cheese sandwich.
Lovely.
With hollandaise on the top.
We've had just some of the goat's cheese, it's gorgeous. Lovely.
So this is a way of kind of opening up afternoon tea. We've obviously got the tea there. funny enough, ironically, we're launching a new tea selection at Waddesdon as well. And we've just collaborated with a wonderful chap called Cal Palmer, who heads up Exotic Root Teas. And as we speak, we have tea flying over from India. It's all being grown exclusively for Waddesdon. We've chosen the range. It's very exciting. We had a tea tasting with the team only last week, which went down brilliantly, just to give everybody an idea about the structure of the teas and what people may or may not like, and questions at the table. Obviously, the most popular are English breakfast,
Of course.
a sort of builder's tea, which we all love. A nice, strong, malty tea is the most popular, but we do have a range of different teas from Ceylons, oolongs, but they are all grown in India, which is quite exciting actually.
And what are the objectives of the tea company?
The objectives of the tea company is a wonderful chap. It's a very small business, which we like. We're working with them on this. He's very obviously excited to have a presence at Waddesdon. And he just blew us away with the quality of the teas, but also his story, because he's very ethical in his approach. As I say, he's dealing with a region of India for all of our teas, so it is what it says on the tin. And he has proudly announced that he will be going plastic free, which is very exciting for us. So our silk bags will not have any traces of plastic in whatsoever. It's this very clever plant-based material. And we're going to put that tea, the bagged tea, into the whole of the attraction. And that first order, nearly 60,000 bags of tea without any trace of plastic in, which is very exciting for us, because as a department we have a vision and objective to try and eliminate single-use plastic as soon as we can. So
And sustainability is such a strong narrative in today's society. It's really good we're dipping into that.
Yeah, no, it is. It's something that we're all very conscious of.
Yes.
As you can imagine, my department has an element of waste behind it. The biggest waste, is food waste and single-serve disposables. So the more we can do, the better.
Of course. So can we have a taste of the tea?
You can have a taste of the tea. It
Lovely.
should be a nice, rich colour. There you go.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Very malty.
Should I try it with some milk?
This one you would try with milk, yeah. But some of our teas, the greens and the white teas, obviously, and the tisanes, the infusions don't have milk with them. But that one will. That's a good strong brew.
It smells lovely.
Yeah.
I need a cup of tea in the morning
Get you going.
before the sparkling wine.
Alongside
really
our
yummy.
traditional tea, we've also got a children's tea. Obviously, a huge part of our audience are families and children, and not to alienate those in this environment that's quite, formal and sophisticated. We do have a children's tea, very popular as well. Nearly 5,000 of those sold last year. And all of this, again, made by our team. They're an absolute inspiration. Little pizza, the egg mayonnaise sandwich, and then our homemade sausage roll, which is very cute,
Lovely.
all made by the guys. And then on this one here, because it's such an ever-increasing audience that we need to really cater for, are those people with dietary requirements. The one that I showed you there is our vegan tea. So those vegan people are not missing out at all. We've got homemade hummus, aubergine caviar, a little sandwich again,
I'm going to try the
cucumber sandwich,
caviar. That sounds very interesting.
and a little vegan lollipop there with sun-dried tomato on.
Oh, lovely. And who comes up with the designs?
So Ben, our head of hot kitchen, you'll see, Craig is our head of pastry, and they're both very creative. Like to make things up in-house, make our own puff pastry, our own sausage meat for the sausage rolls. The majority of what we make here is all done in-house, and we're very blessed with their talents, so it's great.
And this is something we've approached on another Facebook Live as well at Christmas time. I don't know if you remember if you tuned in, but we had a Facebook Live with Craig, our patisserie chef, in the kitchen making mince pies, and I think that shows the amount of energy.
Yeah,
into-
hand crimping, single mince
Yes.
pies each time, and again, the numbers are extraordinary, 10,000 of those, so it's just amazing really.
And it's true, you can really taste this dedication within the flavours.
And also with the food, there's a real movement towards, as much as we can, supplying produce from the estate, which for a foodie like I am is very, very exciting. So the chicken, pork, the lamb, the beef, all our own animals grown on the estate, and all the husbandry managed by our estate team. Rape as well, for rapeseed oil for frying, oil, honey off the estate, flour that we're going to be getting, barley to brew our beer. It's just a wonderful story that we're just so excited about. It's really exciting.
I think what else is really fascinating about this as well is that we're bringing back the values of the 19th century. Ferdinand de Rothschild, who built Waddesdon Manor and had all of this going on at the same time. It's like a microcosm of activity that supplied food to the house. So it's really lovely that we're still maintaining it.
Absolutely, yeah, it is. And then once you finish this delightful course, you'll obviously be asked if you want to refresh your teas, and some people do then try and just go through the range, the portfolio of tea to try them. Some they love, some they just think, oh, that's a bit odd, but yeah, there we go. That's taste.
So what other teas do we have?
So, let me just pass this over there. The list is quite extensive. We haven't gone crazy, but there's about 12 or 13 there. Picking a lot of the classics that we know, that people enjoy, and then throwing a few in there that are kind of quite new to the market, but people are really getting excited about. The Maharaja Chai, which has got an element of spice to it. We think in the winter times that will really be very popular. But things like mint and Earl Grey and Darjeeling, they're all things that people are quite familiar with. Oolong, that people aren't that familiar with, are things that people say, oh, I've never heard of oolong, let's try that. That's the purest of teas, really quite white, and the leaves are huge, so it's not being processed much at all.
Quite interesting, it's white head. What's that?
So that is literally a tea that's been sort of, has elements of pear in there. It's a green tea, very clean tea, energy boosting, quite subtle, but all of Cal's teas are all made with completely natural ingredients. So there's no sort of hidden smoke and mirrors in there. It's all very clean, very beautiful. So yeah,
I
very
think it's really
exciting.
important for today as well, isn't it? For today's society, you really want to know what you're eating and you're investing in.
So like I said, once you've enjoyed your savouries, I'll just quickly talk about this, which is also very exciting. Gusbourne, who is a winery in Kent, they have parts in Sussex as well. We've collaborated with them for our own Waddesdon English sparkling wine. So that is new for this year. So that's served with all of our traditional teas that want bubbles with them, which is really exciting. It's exclusively for us. And it's going down an absolute storm in our new wine shop.
Lovely. Oh, and the label, I just want to pick up on the label. Of course, this is all designed in-house as well, isn't it? And the design
Yes.
of the actual
Yes.
product as well.
Yes,
It looks
absolutely.
absolutely beautiful. I'll just bring it closer to the camera. Absolutely beautiful.
And then as a huge surprise, this is a real wow factor, and that's why I like doing it in two stages, because there's a sort of sense of anticipation. When we pop this down for everybody,
Beautiful.
people, there's just so many oohs and ahs, and everybody gets a stand each. So like maybe you go to some places, there's a stand for the table, and you pick off one stand, you get a stand each, and it really adds a sense of exclusivity and interest to it.
Completely bringing back the ancient art of afternoon tea from the 19th century.
Yes.
Absolutely beautiful.
So on here we've got a little opera cake, again all made in-house by our team, a little lemon meringue tart, how cute is that?
Very cute.
A little set mousse there, that's actually a panna cotta with a crumble topping, a macaron, sorry not meringue, a macaron there. And all of these elements are themed throughout the year. The team is so talented that I can go to them with a crazy idea and say, for Halloween half term, how about let's do a spooky tea? And they go, yeah, why not? And they go and beaver away, and they come back with some really quite creative ideas to make it spooktacular, and there's funny plays on words, and it's great. The other teams that we've themed throughout the year, spoken about Christmas, very popular time of year. We do Christmas teas, themed with elements of what the attraction theming is. Sometimes it can be quite abstract, which is a challenge for us. But, yeah.
Of course, last year when we had Christmas Carnival, what sort of ideas were you bringing to the afternoon tea then?
Well, we try to be more elaborate with our garnishes actually, because that was another one that was quite abstract. It wasn't really something that we could hook into, but we made it a bit more fire and brimstone to make it more of a celebration. We've gone gold before when we've been doing natural materials and all of that, so yeah, we try as much as we can to hook back into the story of the theming that it is for that time of year.
I think this should just also inspire you at home to really get creative with your afternoon teas, and we may be even able to suggest some recipes and ways of approaching them.
Yeah, we put funny gooey
home.
worms on and bones and things like that at Halloween. Mother's Day, we've just gone through Mother's Day, just had a very popular 270 teas all through that day. Very popular, so we theme a tea for that. Father's Day, don't forget the dads, we do a gentleman's tea for Father's Day, which is quite blokey. So instead of getting bubbles, you have a bottle of our own Waddesdon ale.
Lovely.
Sausage rolls, sausage rolls, pork pies, pudding, real gutsy kind of things, put on a board. Not done in this way, put on a nice rustic wooden board. So a different way of presenting it for the blokes. So yeah, we try as best we can to theme things, which brings me on to our children's
one. This is making me so
one,
hungry.
which is so cute.
Lovely. I'm just going to bring it a bit closer so you can all see.
So that tea was inspired by Poupon, who was Baron Ferdinand's poodle. So it's a Poupon tea. And with that, there's some really funny little cute things with a reference to dogs. So that's a little paw print ice cream lollipop. A little dog bone cupcakes there. So there's a little dog bone on the top. Just for a little nod to Ferdinand. And there's a little poodle gingerbread biscuit. I don't know if you can see that in shot. So like I say, they're so creative.
So creative. It really allows your team to get creative and get stuck in.
Yeah, no, it does. But as you can imagine, some days we're doing 200 of these, and then the next day we've got 150. You know, the numbers are big. And Craig, our pastry chef, and Connor, who works with him, nothing changes. It's absolutely exquisite how nothing falters. All of the little garnishes are all in the same place every single time. I don't know how he does it. It's just
absolutely perfect.
Yeah, perfect.
Has the quality control down to a T.
He does indeed. Don't know how he does it. It's remarkable. And then for those that have a vegan preference, so you don't feel shortchanged.
You would not even know the difference.
You wouldn't, would you? So on there we've got a vegan truffle cake. Gorgeous, I'd eat that all day long. Raspberry mousse cake, a little meringue, sorry not meringue, pavlova. Now this is very exciting, this one here, that is the juice from chickpeas, from a tin of chickpeas, whisked with sugar and baked, and it comes out like a little pavlova meringue with some fresh tropical fruits on the top.
Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, it's a bit like candy floss.
Approaching the vegan option, that must have been another creative process for the
Absolutely, yeah, and you know they've really taken on board and understand now that our industry has to come on side with that. Gone are the days where you're just ticking boxes for vegetarians and vegans and people with dietary requirements. You've really got to execute something that's as good as what everybody else would enjoy, because we can't shortchange them anymore. It's just not acceptable. The industry's moved on. So yeah, this is making them. I mean, I would eat that. You would.
I would eat it.
It's just extraordinary, isn't it? So yeah.
Lovely. Thank you. So, talk about the different things. So we've spoken about. We've mentioned Halloween. We've mentioned Christmas, Mother's Day. Are there any more themes?
So yeah, Father's Day. The first one that we're going to have a go at this year, and I don't know why we've not thought of it before, was for our Chili Festival, which is at the end of August. Hugely popular festival. We had over 10,000 people a year over the weekend. No, more than 10,000 come and visit over the weekend. And these crazy chili people come out, and there's a real fanatical following for it. we're doing a chili tea. Yeah.
Brilliant. How do you do a chili tea?
Well, thankfully I haven't had to come up with the ideas, but the guys have beamed away, and obviously on the savoury side of it is quite, it's easier than pairing some of these things with chili. But chili and chocolate, lime, Mexican flavours, Cajun spices for all of that come into it, because obviously chilies aren't just exclusively for South America, they're all over the world now, so there's some Indian flavours as well. And we're going to pair that with a chili and chocolate tea that Cal's going to supply for us.
Absolutely beautiful. So bringing all of those values of sustainability and ethical working, but to chilly afternoon tea as well.
So it won't blow your head off with spice as such. There'll be subtle flavours in there, but we're hoping that I'm sure it will be very good.
I was going to ask that because I'm not very good with spice, but it sounds absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, but if you can imagine, we've got lime in there and some sort of West Indian flavours as well as Indian flavours and Thai flavours and things like that. It's all quite exotic. It's not just hit you in the face with spice and heat.
Lovely. Thank you so much.
That's all right. It's been good fun.
Thank you. It's been very good fun, and I want to go away and eat all of this now. I know that lots of my colleagues are asking me for tastes of all of these cakes, so of course I'm going to have to try and eat some before they all
so
go.
you're going to take it all the way to the offices. That'd be wonderful.
But I hope that this has whet all of your appetites out there to come and try our afternoon tea. And again, here we are in the Waddesdon Manor restaurant, and it's such a beautiful space. I think you'd agree to have your afternoon tea. And of course, it brings the extra dimension of the 19th century and bringing this beautiful kitchen to life. And so experiencing the afternoon tea here is really, really special. And of course, there are so many different types of afternoon tea to try from. So have a look at our website, jump on our events page and have a look at what we've got coming up. And please do book in and come and taste our beautiful afternoon teas. And of course, if you do have any ideas for recipes or you would like to know some recipes, please do just send us messages and we'd be happy to help you.
Absolutely.
Lovely. Well, thank you very much, and that's a goodbye from us here at Waddesdon Manor, and now we are going to, I think, whet our appetites and eat all of these lovely scrumptious things on the table.
There you go, Victoria. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.